All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Blue Ridge High Rollers video. I do this about once every beginning of the month for the previous month of eBay sales, and what this is simply it's straight up eye candy for you guys to look at. What has been some of the most priciest coins to have sold on eBay? Well, we're about ready to find out. We have a top 10 list for you to feast your eyes on. And again, this is for February 2021. Yes, a little bit shorter month, with only 28 days, but, we have a pretty nice list. And again, there's a few trends that we're seeing on the list that have carried over from the previous few months. Silver, of course, any sort of bullion is hot off the collar, hot off the presses right now. So we have that in full display here. I'm happy to say. So for all you silver bugs out there, you might want to take a look at this because it's awesome. But yeah, the market has been relatively robust, going into February, and now here we are in March. Things seem to be still, on top of its game. I've actually checked on a few sales for March, and I'm happy to say that we have a coin that has overtaken the number one coin for February. So March will be, it'll be delectable to say the least. However, we are going to focus on February 2021. Generally, about 80% of the coins are graded. All right, graded, means that they're legit, high grades, money. Just the overall investability of these coins cannot be understated. But yeah, this is a 28 days of February high rollers packed into 10 coins. So what have we got this February? Let's go ahead and check out the first coin. The number 10 coin on the list is going to be quite a rarity. But, some people, they'll look at this coin like, there doesn't seem to be too much special going on here. What we have is a 1929 $5 half eagle. This one grades out PCGS XF40. I mean, yeah, sure, it's in an older green holder, green labeled holder, probably from the late 90s, I would say. But this coin right here, ladies and gentlemen, is inexplicably rare in mint state grades. So here we have an XF40. Mintage wise, there was 662,000 of these produced. They were only really introduced to, I guess, circulation or for grabs in 1936. So even after production of this coin right here, it wasn't available for about another 7 years. Yeah, kind of odd. I actually read up on this coin right here. And in spite of its mintage, because there are plenty of other coins with mintages of like 50,000 pieces or lower, that don't come close to selling for the amount of money that this one did. There are roughly, I think, 50 graded examples. So here's what I've determined, but I haven't quite found the information about this coin. But I have a feeling that a lot of these were melted before they were even released. Or there was a large cache collection of 1929 Indian half eagles out there somewhere. But a vast majority of them that have been graded are usually AU, XF. This is one such example here. So it's kind of like, I don't know if it's artificial rarity or not. We don't know if these things were melted or if they were holed up in some collection somewhere, or if there was any available in the federal banking system. It's really hard to say. Federal Reserve Bank, that is. But just to give you guys an idea, this one sold for $19,214. Wow, that's quite a bit of money. But that seems to be kind of like the going rate for these. They've actually gone up in price in the last 5 years. Anytime one of these hits the open market, they always hit such ridiculous numbers. It's not even funny. But this one is just an incredible kind of key date for the Half Eagle series. It's worth mentioning that this one was sold by a seller, Sison. I hope I got that right. So that individual or that company has a number of really nice coins that they sell every so often, and they're in California. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and, jump into the number 9 coin for the month of February, and it's going to be this gem right here. It's an 1898 Barber half dollar. This one right here grades out PCGS Mint State 66 Plus, and it's also CAC certified. And this is a stunning example. Furthermore, it is also a top pop grade, so there's none that grades out 67 or higher. This is it. It's also, yeah, I already said it's CAC cert, but anyways, here are some TrueView images direct from PCGS on this particular coin. As you can see, it exhibits, just a fair amount of originality, which is what people want to see for a coin of this caliber, I guess. But wow, this is a coin that'll take your breath away. And I would say some of the most distinguished Barber collections will probably end up owning something like this in there. And again, this is a rarity that we just don't see in the Barber series, because the Barber series, was a workhorse type of series back in the day. So, yeah, felt like I just ran a mile because this coin is a stunner. But yeah, again, these are workhorse coins. They were never really held on to in the highest grades, like straight out of the minting process and into your hands. A lot of these were spent, and a lot of them were indeed spent also during the Great Depression age, which, kind of helps solidify its status as being a very pretty, very rare coin. Say what you want to say about the designs. It's like a love it or hate it design for a lot of folks. Me personally, I think it's a stunner. Anything in mint state condition is just beautiful. And if you're putting together a typeset, a mint state Barber in any denomination is definitely a must. But yeah, simply beautiful. This one sold here on the 3rd. Oh, by the way, the Half Eagle before it sold on the 21st. I didn't even say that, but I wanted to make that clear. This one sold on the 3rd of the month for $19,995. By a seller called Dal Lan. I hope that's Dal Lan. Man, I'm having issues this morning just pronouncing seller names. But they're in Illinois, and again, really, really beautiful coin. Well, I take that back. There is one finer, so there's a 67 floating around out there, I'm sure, that will probably never see the light of day in quite some time. Usually with these type of coins, they'll be in a collection for a really long time. Very rarely will you see it back out in the open market, say in like 6 months to a year. Again, these older 19th century coins are just not publicly traded that much. So this was an incredible score of such a beautiful, beautiful type piece. All right, number 8 coin on the list, this one's going to knock your socks off, is a 1995 West Point Silver American Eagle. All right, this is the undisputed kind of like king of kings when it comes to Silver Eagles. Well, up until the previous year, 2019, when the Enhanced Reverse 2019S came out. But this one, for the longest time, was the rarity in Silver Eagles. Some would say, well, Silver Eagle was made as to be bullion, right? You trade in and out of the bullion as you need to. So they shouldn't be, collectible or tradable at a higher rate than, silver melt. And I just find that false. The one thing that I could say about this coin is that if you are able to obtain one and hold on to it, it's where the whole diamond hands thing comes into play for like the stock market. But just hold on to one or two of them, over the years, then you will have an incredibly valuable coin. A few facts about this one. It's graded NGC Proof 70 Ultra Cameo. Just a beautiful grade. I mean, it is perfect. And it's also got the flag label design. It's also signed by the designer of the reverse, John Mercanti, the 12th chief engraver at the time. Yeah, it's an important Silver Eagle for those that collect these things, and this one sold for a cool $20,000 February 15th. This one was sold by First Modern Coins, and they are located in Kansas. Beautiful coin. All right, let's see what the number 7 coin is going to be, and this one is not one coin at all, but a monster or ballistics box of Silver Eagles. These are brand new 2020 Silver Eagles. First, I would say in a long line of various other silver products that sold for good amounts of money here in the month of February, but this one right here is for 500 coins. So each one of these monster boxes will actually have a roll of, I think this is 20 Silver Eagle in a tube, and there are 25 of these in the box. So there you go. That's how they're normally packaged right from the mint. And this one here sold for $21,638.50, which goes to show you, the power of the PMs is very strong out there. And there's some huge premiums being held on these coins on the secondary market. I would certainly keep an eye out for these. It's not done with its upward price trends. We'll see the price of these things go up a little bit more before they begin to kind of like plateau or retrace there on the end. This one was sold by Redoubt Numismatics. Interesting name. And that was actually on the 1st of the month. So this is the big sale of the month of February for the first day, and they are located in Texas. All right, the number 6 coin on high rollers this past month is going to be more silver. This one is actually quite interesting. This is actually a 2000 to 2008 full compilation of statehood silver quarters. Okay, these are all 90%. There's one unique roll for each state, and so that makes 40 coins per roll. There are 100 rolls altogether, which equals 4,000. Yeah, 4,000 90% silver quarters. But these are all proof set pulled coins. So I don't know if it's this individual that actually cracked open a bunch of these red labeled silver proofs, but this is a very interesting collection. And I'm sure whoever put this together, it was probably at the time when statehood quarters were out and they're being released on a normal regular basis. Someone was buying up a lot of the silver proof sets, cracking them out, and then putting together and assembling these rolls. So for this one right here, it sold for $23,975. This one is in February, although I didn't get the exact date in which this one sold. But I could tell you off of that particular price, that would put each coin at about $6. All right, which is not too bad given that, first of all, there's no 99s in there because those sell for quite a bit more of a premium than the 2000s and up. But, that seems to be the going rate for just about any silver 90% quarter. All right. I think somewhere in that $5.50 to $6 range. This was sold by CoinSeven, and they are located in Michigan. All right. So that's a pretty interesting sale. Nice big old chunk of money for that one. All right, number 5 coin. We're halfway through the list, and this time we have a classic, a really, really beautiful coin here. 1895S Morgan Silver Dollar. This one grades out PCGS. Mint State 64 Dimple. All right, so it's a deep mirror proof-like coin. This is not an actual proof issue. Those are all Philadelphia's, but this one right here is a stunner. Very seldom do you find a coin from what I call like the key era of Morgan dollars, and that's usually the mid 1890s. Is going to be your sweet spot for these types. But finding one that's deep mirror and proof like, that's pretty tough. And finding one mint state of any of the coins, and actually my next coin on the list will help kind of corroborate the difficulty of just this particular decade in general, is just not seen. All right, so this one right here is a true investor and collector piece. This one here sold for $24,500. $500, and this was actually on the last day of the month, February 28th. Sold by Perfect Coins Inc., and they are located in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Beautiful coin. Beautiful. Very, very rare coin in this condition state, and the date is always a must-have for a discerning Morgan collection. Number 4, we got another Morgan here for you, and this is the undisputed key of the series, 1893S Morgan dollar. It's not a super incredible high-end example. It is a PCGS AU53. So this puppy right here is seeing a little bit of circulation during its day, but this is a marquee date, and if you're able to find one in XF40 and up, you're going to be paying a hefty amount of money for these. None of them are particularly affordable unless you want a lowball example, and even then it's still a few $1,000s. But this one right here would be an acceptable piece for kind of like that mid-tier, Morgan collection. I would say even probably maybe even a little bit higher-end collection as well. This one brought home $25,645.25. As you can see, pride of the Morgans, only 100,000 minted. Very, very low mintage, and that's why it's rare. One of the most widely collected series in U.S. coins. This one was sold by DWAL 11131, and they are located in SoCal, Palmdale. But there you go. That's the number 4 coin for you. All right, we're going to jump into the number 3 on the list, and it's going to be some gold, some early classic gold. We have an 1857S, $20 double eagle. This one grades PCGS Mint State 66. That is incredible on its face. And it's also a shipwreck find. It's from these SS Central America. It's just incredible to find a shipwreck find that's not all deteriorated from the salt of the water, and this one's still straight grades, so that's miraculous on its own. This one is also referred to as the spiked shield, so it's got a couple of die gouges on the reverse just to the left of the shield on the eagle. So that goes into the shield on the left side there, and that's kind of like the variety attribution for this type. But this, ladies and gentlemen, is just an incredible example. It is also an XDL Hansen provenance piece. He's a notable collector of high-end rarities, such as this one. But just a beautiful coin, high grade, with the provenance and the shipwreck notation on the label. I mean, there's just a lot of good things going for this coin as a investor piece or collector piece. Sold for $32,340 by none other than David Lawrence Rare Coins. All right, so he's one of the biggest, not only auctioneers, but he's also one of the biggest retailers of rarities of this ilk. He's located in Virginia. Sold on the 26th, by the way. Just stunner. Beautiful, beautiful coin. If I could afford one of these, I would. Just to keep it with me in the collection, and yeah, I'd have to stare at it once per day just to justify the price. All right, number 2 coin, we got the top 2 on the list, and it's going to be a trio of rather peculiar Morgan dollars. Sorry that the imagery is not as crisp. That is what is provided on the seller listing. But what we have here is a trio of 1921D Morgan dollars. These are all discovery pieces of their respective VAMs or varieties. First, we have the VAM 1H4 discovery piece. You can actually send these off to Annex as long as you have the letter highlighting that it is a discovery piece. This first one here to the left is going to be the coin that drives the entire value of this collection. It's only 3 coins, but this one has a pretty sizable cut just to the left of the date. You also have the VAM 1H3, which is in the middle, and the VAM 1H2 on the right-hand side. Believe it or not, the one piece that everybody was leveraging the most amount of value on is also a details grade example, which means it's been cleaned. All right, so that's notated on the slab label. There's the backs of each individual coin. And then finally, here's a little bit better, just singular snapshot of this variety. The King of Cuds is what it's called. You can see that just big old cud on the left side of the date. And as a matter of fact, this is the biggest cud die break that you will find in the entire Morgan Dollar series, unless the next one comes up. But this one right here, just a stunner. So what did all three coins sell for? Well, before we get there, I also want to mention the rarity factor. This one on VanWorld has an interest factor of 5, which is really high. And it's an R8, which means it's relatively unique. I don't think there's been a second piece found of this coin. But all of that sold for $39,999. I would say pretty much, if I had to bet, maybe $30,000 to $35,000 of that money is going to the King of Cuds VAM that you see on the list, which is just crazy. But this one was sold by NIINC in Tujunga, California. I think they're in Southern California. But wow, just incredible trio of Morgan dollars. And they're not even in particularly high grades either. It would be cool to think that all three of these were cherry picked out of like just basic raw silver batches. Silver melt bins, that sort of thing at a coin dealer. It's good to kind of wonder because these things do pop up when you least expect it. Ta-da! And the number one coin of the week is going to be this one. Quite an awesome gold slug. All right, so this is an 1851, lettered edge, and it's a Humbert $50 face gold slug. So this is a traditional assay piece that was made and produced pre San Francisco gold production. So this kind of like filled in the gaps along with some of the other different assay gold that was produced during the mid 1850s. This one was one of the biggest sized examples, and it's octagonal, which I love. I love early US octagonal anything. And it's an important piece to gold, the gold community, the gold assaying community, and it's very historical. I think the grade is kind of like a moot point for this one. I mean, it's an NGC XF40. But just the overall historical significance of this coin is right up there as to why it sold for the amount of money it did. And it sold for $62,900 by Keystone Estate Specialist. So I don't know if this was in a previous collection and Keystone was the main consigner of this. They probably were, I'm sure they have quite a few different other auctions from this particular collection. So you notice it says 880. I believe that's the fineness of the gold. So it's 880 fine. But yeah, this is good. The number one big seller, the biggest high roller coin of the month of February. Simply beautiful, and at a glance there's all 10 of your pieces right there for you. It was a really good month for only being 28 days. The market is incredibly robust, as I had mentioned, and I continue this trend and foresee this trend happening into the month of March. We've already had a couple of really nice high profile coins that have sold for this month already that we will see on next month's High Rollers Edition video. But I want to thank each and every single one of you for watching the good old High Rollers by BlueRidgeSilverhound. Hopefully you guys enjoy this nice little kind of break from the normal stuff. And people seem to appreciate these type of videos. So I'm going to continue doing it for you. Thanks again. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that good old bell for instant notifications. And that's going to do it. Coinaholics, we are discovering together. You guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next coin video. So long.